my dear listeners. Welcome to Perfect English Podcast with Layla. I'm so happy to have you here again. Every time you press play, you take one more step toward becoming a more confident English speaker, and that makes me really proud of you. Today we're going to talk about something that connects all of us, our daily routine. No matter who you are, where you live, or what kind of life you lead, we all have a rhythm to our day, small habits and little rituals that make up our lives. Talking about your daily routine is one of the simplest and most natural ways to practice English because it's about something you already know very well, your own life. In this episode, I'll help you learn how to describe your day in a smooth, natural, and confident way. You'll hear practical sentences, everyday expressions, and some high-level but easy-to-understand phrases that native speakers often use. Many English learners can list activities like, I wake up, I eat breakfast, I go to work, but they struggle to connect them with flow and beauty. That's what we'll work on today. I'll show you how to make your sentences sound more elegant and connected, using time expressions and linking words that make your speech come alive. Think about it. Your daily routine says a lot about who you are. It shows your discipline, your priorities, and your lifestyle. When you learn to talk about it clearly in English, you can have more engaging conversations, whether you're chatting with friends, doing an interview, or introducing yourself in a new class or workplace. So as we go through this episode, I want you to imagine your day from the moment you wake up until the time you go to sleep. Picture the small actions, the feelings, the sounds, and the rhythm of your day. By the end of this episode, you'll be able to describe your daily life in a more expressive and natural way, not just using simple sentences, but with thoughtful, connected ideas that sound fluent and real. So grab your notebook, relax, and get ready to practice English with me. This is your time to focus, to listen carefully, and to grow your confidence, one beautiful sentence at a time. Plus, let's begin your English journey together, and let's talk about your daily routine. Talking about your daily routine is one of the most natural and common topics in English conversations. It often comes up in casual chats, friendly introductions, classroom discussions, or even job interviews. People might ask you questions like, "What's your typical day like?" or "How do you usually spend your mornings?" These are not just simple questions. They're an opportunity for you to express yourself clearly, to show your fluency, and to build confidence in speaking about something you know very well. Your own life. Describing your daily routine helps you practice using the present simple tense, time expressions, and linking words that connect your thoughts smoothly. It also allows you to sound natural and confident, just like a native speaker. When you talk about your day, you don't want your sentences to sound robotic or disconnected. Instead of saying, I wake up, I eat breakfast, I go to work, you should learn to connect your ideas and show a flow in your speech. Imagine painting a picture of your day using words. Each sentence should lead gently into the next, making your story interesting and pleasant to listen to. That's where time expressions and linking phrases come in. They help your listener follow your story without getting lost. For example, you can say, I usually start my day by having a cup of tea and checking my messages, instead of just saying, I drink tea. The phrase, I usually start my day by, gives your sentence rhythm, natural tone, and context. Here are some beautiful and useful expressions you can use to describe your daily routine in a fluent way. You can begin with, I usually start my day by, to talk about what you do first thing in the morning. This could be something like, I usually start my day by opening the window and letting in some fresh air. Then you can continue with most mornings I tend to, which means something you normally do but not necessarily every single day. For example, most mornings I tend to go for a quick walk or do some stretching before breakfast. As your day continues, you can move the story forward by saying, after that, I move on to, which helps you connect your next activity, like, after that, I move on to preparing for work. When you reach the middle of your day, use phrases like, during the afternoon, I often, which allows you to talk about what happens later, such as, during the afternoon, I often check my emails or attend meetings. For evening routines, you can say, in the evenings, I like to wind down by. The phrase wind down means to relax after being busy. You might say, in the evenings, I like to wind down by reading a book or watching my favorite show. Finally, to describe the end of your day, you can use, before going to bed, I usually, to talk about your nighttime habits, such as, before going to bed, I usually plan my tasks for the next day or listen to soft music. These small but powerful phrases make your English sound smooth, organized, and natural. They help your story flow like a conversation, not a list. So whenever you talk about your daily routine, remember to use these expressions to add rhythm and beauty to your sentences. They will make your English sound both fluent and professional, just like a confident speaker who truly understands how to express their everyday life with ease. Now let's move on to the example part of today's episode, where I'll show you how to talk about your daily routine in a natural, fluent, and expressive way. As you listen, pay close attention to how the sentences flow together, how time expressions are used, and how the story of the day moves smoothly from morning to night. Remember, fluency in English is not just about using the right words. It's about connecting your thoughts clearly, painting a picture with your words, and making your listener feel as if they are walking through your day with you. Let's begin. I usually wake up around 6:30 in the morning. The first thing I do is open my window and let some fresh air in. This simple action makes me feel awake, calm, and ready to start the day. The fresh air brings in the soft morning light and the peaceful sound of birds outside, which helps me begin my day with a positive mood. Then, I make myself a warm cup of coffee. Honestly, I can't imagine starting my day without it. That first sip gives me energy and motivation. While the coffee brews, I often think about the tasks I need to complete or repeat some positive affirmations in my head like, today will be a good day. These small routines set a productive tone for the hours ahead. After that, I take a quick shower, get dressed, and prepare a light breakfast, usually toast and eggs or sometimes oatmeal with fruits. I like to keep it simple but healthy. While eating, I often listen to a short English podcast or read the news headlines. This not only keeps me informed about what's happening in the world, but also helps me practice my listening skills and expand my vocabulary. Morning is the perfect time to feed both your body and your mind, and that's something I always encourage my listeners to do. Around 8 o'clock, I start my work. I work from home, so my first step is to sit at my desk, open my laptop, and check my emails. I make a quick to-do list to organize my tasks and set priorities for the day. During the morning, I try to focus on the most important or creative tasks because that's when I feel the most productive and energetic. I avoid distractions during this time, no unnecessary phone calls, no social media, just focus and flow. Around midday, I take a short break to stretch and move around. Sitting for hours can make you feel tired, so it's important to give your body a little movement. Then I have lunch, usually something light but filling. Rice, vegetables, and grilled chicken are my go-to choices. I believe eating healthy meals gives me energy and keeps my mind clear for the rest of the day. In the afternoon, I continue working on my projects or have online meetings with my team. These meetings help us stay connected, share ideas, and solve problems together. If I finish my tasks early, I like to go for a short walk outside. Walking helps me refresh my mind, breathe deeply, and reset my thoughts. Sometimes I listen to calm music or an audiobook during the walk. It's a simple pleasure that makes a big difference to my energy level and mood. When the evening comes, I like to slow down a little. I cook dinner, usually something comforting like pasta, soup, or vegetables with rice. After dinner, I spend some time with my family or watch a TV show. I think evenings are the best time to relax and reconnect with loved ones. It's also a great opportunity to reflect on the day, what went well, what could have been better, and what I'm grateful for. Before going to bed, I like to have a short moment of quiet. Sometimes I sit near the window, breathe slowly, and think about the next day. I might read a few pages of a book or listen to soft, calming music that helps me unwind. This peaceful time at night helps me clear my mind from all the noise of the day. Then I turn off the lights around 11 and get a good night's sleep, ready to wake up fresh and begin again tomorrow. This is how I would describe my daily routine in a natural, fluent way. Notice how the sentences are not too short or too long. They are connected smoothly with linking words like after that, during, around, before, and then. The story flows like a calm river, moving from one part of the day to the next. Each sentence gives a clear picture of what's happening while using natural, everyday English phrases. This is exactly how you can talk about your own routine: simple, structured, and full of beautiful details that make your English sound real and alive. Now that we've listened to a full example of a daily routine, let's take a closer look at some of the most beautiful and useful words and phrases from that description. These expressions may seem simple at first, but they add so much natural rhythm, emotion, and fluency to your English. When you understand how to use them correctly, your sentences will sound smoother and more authentic, just like a native speaker's. Remember, vocabulary isn't just about memorizing new words. It's about knowing how, when, and why to use them in the right context. So let's explore these expressions in detail and learn how to bring them into your own conversations. Let's start with the phrases wake up and get up. Many English learners confuse these two, but they have slightly different meanings. Wake up means the moment you open your eyes, when you stop sleeping. For example, you can say, I usually wake up around 6:30. On the other hand, get up means when you actually leave your bed and start moving. You might wake up at 6:30 but get up at 6:45 after lying there for a few minutes thinking about your day. Using these correctly helps make your English more precise and natural. Next, we have let some fresh air in. This is a lovely and natural expression that English speakers often use in their daily life. It means to open the window or door so that clean, cool air can come into the room. It's not just about air, it also gives the feeling of freshness, clarity, and starting anew. You might say, I like to open my window every morning to let some fresh air in. It's a small but powerful image that makes your description of the morning feel alive. Another useful phrase is a light breakfast. When we say light, we mean not heavy, something simple like fruit, cereal, toast, or yogurt. For example, I usually have a light breakfast before work. This phrase shows that you're using natural collocations, words that sound right together in English. You could also say a heavy breakfast if you eat a lot, but most people use a light breakfast to describe a healthy and easy start to the day. Then there's most productive. This phrase describes the time of day when you work most efficiently, when your brain is most active, and you can focus without distractions. You can say, I usually do my most productive work in the morning. Using adjectives like productive makes your speech sound professional and thoughtful. You can also say things like, I try to make the most of my productive hours, or afternoons are my least productive time. These variations give your language flexibility and depth. Another simple but powerful expression is stretch a little. This means to move your body gently, especially after sitting or sleeping, to relax your muscles and feel refreshed. It's a common action but also a natural expression to use in your daily routine story. For example, after sitting for hours, I like to stand up and stretch a little. It's casual, realistic, and something native speakers say often. Next, we have wind down, which is one of my favorite English phrases. To wind down means to relax and slow down after a busy day. Imagine a spinning toy or clock that slowly stops. That's the feeling this phrase gives. It's perfect for evenings. In the evenings, I like to wind down by reading a book or listening to music. It's not just about resting, it's about gently transitioning from activity to calmness. Using wind down in your speech makes it sound soft, natural, and emotional. A great way to describe your personal time. Finally, we have reflect on my day. This means to think quietly about what happened during the day, what you achieved, what you could improve, or simply how you felt. Reflection helps you grow and gives your language a deeper, more emotional tone. You can say, before going to bed, I like to reflect on my day and plan for tomorrow. It's an elegant phrase that shows maturity and mindfulness in your communication. When you combine expressions like these, wake up, get up, let some fresh air in, have a light breakfast, feel productive, stretch a little, wind down, and reflect on your day, your English becomes rich, balanced, and expressive. You're no longer just listing actions, you're creating a living story that sounds real and engaging. Try to use these phrases in your speaking or writing practice. Describe your mornings, afternoons, and evenings using them. The more naturally you include these expressions, the more confident and fluent you'll become. Remember, fluency grows from repetition and connection. The more you speak with rhythm and understanding, the more beautiful your English will sound. Now that we've gone through the full lesson and explored so many useful expressions, let's take a moment to review everything we learned today and put it all together. Talking about your daily routine might seem simple, but it's actually one of the best ways to practice real, everyday English. It allows you to use time expressions, linking words, and daily vocabulary that you can apply in almost any conversation. So, let's quickly go over the key ideas and prepare for a little speaking challenge that will help you test your fluency and confidence. Today, we practiced how to describe your daily routine in fluent, natural English. You learned how to connect your sentences smoothly instead of just listing activities, using time expressions like in the morning, after that, during the afternoon, in the evening, and before going to bed helps your story flow in a logical and easy-to-follow way. These small connectors are like bridges between your ideas. They make your speech more organized and pleasant to listen to. You also discovered some natural expressions and phrasal verbs that native speakers use all the time, such as wake up, get up, let some fresh air in, wind down, and reflect on my day. Each of these adds color and personality to your English. What's important to remember is that fluency doesn't mean memorizing a script. It means expressing yourself comfortably and clearly. When you describe your daily routine, try to imagine the actions as you speak. Picture yourself opening the window, sipping your coffee, walking to work, or reading before bed. When your mind can visualize what you're saying, your sentences sound more natural and your pronunciation improves automatically because your speech is connected to real meaning and emotion. Now it's time for your speaking challenge. I want you to describe your own daily routine using the same structure we practiced today. Start with the phrase, I usually start my day by, and then continue step by step through your morning, afternoon, and evening until bedtime. Try to speak for 1 to 2 minutes without stopping. Don't worry about making it perfect. Focus on your rhythm, fluency, and pronunciation. After speaking, record yourself and listen again. Notice the flow of your sentences, the way you use time expressions, and how natural your voice sounds. This small challenge will help you build confidence and train your brain to think in English. The more often you repeat it, the smoother and faster your speech will become. Remember, fluency grows with consistent practice. Each time you talk about your day, try to use 1 or 2 new phrases from today's lesson, and soon they'll become a natural part of your vocabulary. Great job, my dear friends. You've done an amazing job today by practicing how to describe your daily routine with confidence, fluency, and style. This might seem like a simple topic, but it's actually one of the most important steps in building real communication skills. When you can talk about your daily life naturally, you build a strong foundation for every other topic in English, whether it's conversations about work, travel, hobbies, or future plans. Every sentence you spoke today helps you move closer to thinking and speaking in English with ease. Remember, fluency is not about perfection, it's about progress. It's not about never making mistakes, it's about expressing yourself with courage, emotion, and natural flow. Every time you speak, even if you pause or search for a word, you're improving. Mistakes are not failures. They are signs of learning. So keep practicing these daily sentences until they become part of your natural speech. Talk about your mornings, how you start your day, what you do during work or school, and how you relax in the evenings. When you make these phrases part of your everyday communication, you'll notice how much more confident and expressive your English becomes. I want you to feel proud of yourself for taking the time to listen, to learn, and to practice. Every small effort counts. The key to becoming fluent is not speed, it's consistency. Even 5 minutes of practice each day can make a big difference. So try repeating this episode tomorrow or throughout the week. Listen to the phrases again, speak along with me, and notice how your pronunciation and rhythm improve each time. Thank you so much for joining me today and for giving your time and energy to improving your English. I truly hope this episode helped you speak more naturally and feel more confident. If you enjoyed today's lesson, don't forget to come back and practice with me again. There's always something new to learn, and every episode will help you grow step by step. Until next time, this is Layla from Everyday English with Layla, reminding you to keep speaking, keep learning, and keep shining with your English.